Hi everybody, it's Mary Ellen from Create With Me, and I'm here in the Creativity Nest for Teach Me Tuesday. So we've been doing a whole series, or I've been doing a whole series on kind of watercoloring techniques. So I thought I would wrap everything up today with a no-fail technique. I'm calling this no-fail watercoloring, and anyone can do it, and you can be successful with it, and it's a lot of fun, and it's super easy. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to take you down to my desk. There we go. All right, so what I've got here is I've got some watercolor paper, and what I've done is I have stamped an image onto the watercolor paper with Versamark, okay, with Versamark, and then I have embossed it with white embossing powder, okay, and I've done that in advance. So I think you can see it there. You can see it when I put it in the light that I've heat embossed it. So this image is already on here. So this is called a watercoloring resist. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my favorites, the water painter. So I'm going to use two sizes today, the small size right here and then the medium size right there. So I'm going to start, let me grab a scrap piece. I always like to have a scrap piece of paper handy so that I can make sure that it's all clean. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start always, the watercolor paper, remember I always said start with it wet. So I want to overcolor this image with a blue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use balmy blue, and remember to get ink. Just a reminder, you're going to kind of palm the ink pad and put ink right here in this little, in the lid, in the little reservoir. So I'm going to pick up some of the balmy blue, and I'm also releasing some water because I want this to be a really light wash overall. And I have the color, I have the water already on the watercolor paper. So since I'm working with watercolor paper, my I can go over and over it like several times and it's not going to pill. So it's no problem. Hi, Tanya. I'm glad that you're tuning in. So I am just doing a light wash over. Now you should be able to start seeing my image a little bit more, okay? Now I'm going to change painters and I'm going to go to the small one. This is the small one, and I'm going to do the same thing. Make sure that it's clean. While it's wet, I've got enough color in here. I want to pick up, this is how easy it is. I'm going to pick up some of the shaded spruce, and all I'm doing is dropping inside the little places that have leaves, just touching, barely touching. Because it's wet, what's happening is the color is pulling out. Now here you can see it's coming out just a little bit. That's okay. Remember what I said about watercolor? I think it's because I have a little bit of a tip, a little bit of a, one of my brushes is poking out, so it's hitting outside of the embossing. There, it's doing a little bit better now. It was because there's a little hair. What I need to do is take my scissors and just snip that, but that's okay. It's watercoloring. So when I just touch it, it pulls, because it's wet, it's pulling the color inside the area that is embossed, which is really nice. Look, I'm not even having to add any color. You're going to see this kind of come to life. I have to get close to it as I can't see it. So here's some holly, and I can go over that quickly because it's a larger space here. Okay. And I'm going to pick up a little more color here. This is really wet up here. And I'm going to do it all because I just want to show you how easy it is. It goes fast. So I'm adding color inside the embossing. The embossing is acting like a little well. So it's acting like a little edge, and then the water is helping that just spread out to the edge, and then that wall is holding it in. So it's just holding it tight. So now I'm going to change colors, and I do that with my paper. I just squeeze and write it off till it's clear. And then I'm going to pick up some red, and I've got red here in my palette. And this one I want fairly strong. Fairly, because I guess I want it kind of light, but then I can go back. I want to show you how I can go back, see how I can just color inside with the water. It's just pulling it. I don't have to really see. Let me show that. Well, that one's a little drier. I don't know if I'm close enough for you to see, but when I just add the color. So here's one flower here. This one's kind of wet up here. So let's see how if I could just touch that, then that water is just spreading it. And then all I was doing is helping it a little bit. Helping it along just a little bit. It's okay if it goes out just a little. Remember, it's watercoloring. So this is no fail watercoloring, no harm. No foul, no harm. Now, what I can do is I can go back, like this is kind of light, and I can pick up these little dark places here, and I can just touch where I would be adding darkness, where petals are overlaying petals. So watch how this kind of makes this, see there's that little hair. There's a little bristle that needs to be, I can't see it until I'm on the paper. It just needs to be trimmed. Gonna have to get my readers out and do a little trimming. So I'm going in the places where there's petals overlaying. And see, that just make that flower kind of pop. All right. So see how fast and easy that is? Let me show you the finished card. Now on the finished card, instead of using balmy blue on the background, which I do love this balmy blue, I actually used Pool Party. And here's the finished card. Okay, so all I did was color the background. I used Pool Party. I added the greeting right here. I added the, that's real red and shaded spruce. I added a few in color rhinestones, and then I added this, that's a couple of the gold holly leaves. Isn't that pretty? So I'm calling this No Fail Watercoloring. And you won't fail either when you're doing it. So even if this gets a little dry, by adding more water, I missed the petal there. By adding more water when I pick up color from my palette, it's kind of doing the same thing. But you want to make sure that originally your picture is good and wet. If you have a dry paper, then things don't move very well. And see how I'm not adding any color and it's getting lighter and lighter? I don't mind that because I can go back in. Oh, I see I missed a holly leaf here. I can go back in and add that darker and give it some shaded effect like this one here. Okay, so I'm just finishing it up right there. So I want to let you know, though, about a couple things. There's my name in case you don't know me. I know that the people that are chiming in know me. But let me just tell you that we've got a fantastic thing coming up. We've got free shipping tomorrow, all day tomorrow, one day only free shipping. There is my website with my host code. You can snag a picture of that and you can get free shipping tomorrow only. So take advantage of that because that's a great deal because who doesn't love free shipping? And I appreciate you joining me today for this episode of Teach Me Tuesday on No Fail. I'm calling it No Fail Watercoloring. So give it a try. Thanks, everybody.